Good morning, Mrs. Satory. My name is Aidan.
I'm Chloe.
And we have some questions we'd love to ask you.
Excellent. Thank you for having me here.
It's our pleasure.
Of course.
So to begin, it's more of a personal question, but what made you want to become a trustee?
Very good question. It really wasn't something I would say was on my radar, but I'm a firm believer in that things come along your way for a reason. So I just happened to be watching the news and had seen the broadcast about these 4 new trustee positions that were coming open to represent the municipalities. So there was a Clark County, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson representative that was going to be appointed. They were taking applications. And I kind of looked into a little bit about what the position entailed, and it really was wanting someone that had a diverse background, had been in education, preferably just, as more of a kind of advisory input role. And as I thought about it, I thought, I thought it was just really a good fit for me. I have been in charter schools. I've been in CCSD. I've been an administrator, a teacher. I've been in elementary, middle school, high school. I've served on numerous education boards. So I just thought I have quite a vast, realm of experience. So I thought it was something I'd be interested in. I'm always looking for ways to further contribute to education, to further help out, give back and do as much as I can. So it just, like I said, something just kind of spoke to me, and I thought it would be a good fit for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, going off that, is there anything you would change about being a trustee?
Currently we do not have voting rights. So, probably moving forward, I think it's been a great way to get us involved, get us giving input, learning about the role of a trustee. But that is something I'd love to see change in the future, that possibly we would have those voting rights. We definitely have become very involved, get very passionate on a lot of the topics. So it would be something that I think all of us as the appointed trustees would like to see happen in the future. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the role as is and giving back and contributing as much as possible.
And then speaking about changes, what is your vision for the future of the school district?
Well, definitely right now we're engrossed in the superintendent search. So a lot of, our vision, it really is going to be a joint vision with the new superintendent. It's been great because we've had our survey out to get input from all the stakeholders about what the community would like to see in their new superintendent. We are currently holding focus groups. There are some that are virtual and some that are in person. So really my goal right now is just to attend as many of those as possible, really hear from the community, hear what the community wants and our new leader. So like I said, I really think as this, develops, it will be a shared vision. Really some of the main things that I see personally would be really our growth data, really seeing that, really trying to make sure that our students are performing at the highest level. But I really think a lot of that comes down to culture and climate. So if I had to say probably the number one thing I really want to work together in a unified front with our community, with the superintendent, would be really, creating a better culture and climate. Just positivity, teacher recruitment, retention, all of those just go hand in hand with the environment. So that's something that I would personally as well be looking for in a superintendent, someone that has a good track record with being transparent with the community, being visible, being present, really just being out there. So I really think that's what we're going to need in our new leader, is just someone that everyone can just get behind. I think then all of those things with our achievement data and those things will also come into play. We're seeing a lot of gains in our chronic absenteeism, since suspensions, expulsions, those things starting to go down. So we're definitely on the right trajectory. I just think now that we get that new leader and really, we're doing a good job right now of getting that feedback as well. I think the community is feeling really involved in this process. So I think it's really going to give us a good jumping off into that new leader and getting behind he or she and continuing to make gains as we go.
And what are your thoughts on the recent lunch schedule changings? We're seeing some schools reduce their lunches from 3 to 2, such as here at Desert Oasis.
Even one at Foothill.
Yes, I know. It definitely is a hot topic among the community and among students as well. And just for reference, those are site-based decisions. So administrators make those schedules. But of course, as trustees, we get a lot of the feedback and questions and concerns. So, I know that I've been in communication with CCSD staff, and I know they've been out to observe some of those lunches, collect data, see how they're, especially like how long the lunches are taking, how long students are taking to be in the line. The feedback that I have received is that it was about 8 to 10 minutes average, so they were not seeing too much of concerns there. Definitely the safety is still a concern. There's a lot of students in a lunch. I do have some experience with a single lunch. When I was an assistant principal in the district, it was about 10 years ago, we did have a single lunch. So it did allow us to put all hands on deck at that lunch. So although it was large, students were able to kind of spread out in some of the common areas. but we were able to allocate all of our staff to attending to that lunch. And speaking with some of the administrators about why the lunch changes, I know that's a lot of the feedback and their struggles that they faced in the past as well, of multiple lunches, staff being kind of spread thin, having to also attend to students skipping class or getting out of class to go see friends at lunch. So they felt by reducing the number of lunches that they were able to have more focus on those lunches. So really will be something that we will continue to monitor and watch to just see, like I said, particularly in those safety concerns and time getting lunches. But we definitely encourage students and families to reach out to their administration or to us for any of those concerns that they have. But we will continue to monitor the success of those changes.
It's very comforting to hear that it's still being monitored, and I really like your perspective on the lunches, by the way. And I want to bring up another change, a very drastic one that I'm sure a lot of kids are agreeing with, and that's the cell phone policy. Do you think that the new cell phone policy will help these students engage in their classrooms?
Well, not being on a cell phone definitely does increase engagement. So that is a for sure. So yes, I think it is definitely a good policy, particularly when I learned that it was a non-locking pouch. I had some experience in the past of some of the locking ones, and I know there are a lot of concerns regarding those in emergency situations of students needing to be able to access their phones or parents being concerned about being able to reach their child in those situations. So being non-locking is comforting. Definitely phones are an issue in the learning environment. And it's something that it's a struggle to put on the teachers to monitor. So I do think the pouches offer a source of support for those teachers to be able to point to the pouches, to have that policy in place that is standardized across all of the classrooms. It's much easier for teachers to be able to enforce that. So I definitely think it just takes some getting used to and getting those expectations and procedures down. But I think it is important for us to be engaged, listening to the teacher, and not worrying about our phones until the class period ends or until appropriate time is given to use phones.
And if I can real quick build on top of that, is there a particular reason why CCSD went from a much more lenient phone policy to a much more strict one seen this year?
Mm-hmm. And I would say probably to assist the teachers in enforcing those expectations. It is a struggle with so many teachers in the district. Sometimes you have long-term subs. Sometimes you have newer teachers that aren't as experienced in that classroom management. So having a set policy that everyone is abiding by, they know when the students go from class to class, they're hearing the same message. It really helps all of the teachers. So I would think that's probably why the change was to finding a solution that they thought would really kind of be able to be a one-size-fits-all for all of our campuses. That would be, when you find a good solution, sometimes it looks promising, then definitely
one size fits all.
Yeah.
And what has CCSD been doing about overcrowding at schools?
We definitely have some more additional campuses in the next few years slated to be built and opened. We're also doing modernization of several existing campuses that are much older, that really aren't accommodating the number of students that they have. So those, not only will the new campus be modernized and more up to date, but it will also help accommodate the number of students that are attending that school. So, and definitely those things take time. Construction and all of those things take some time. But being able to see kind of the plan, year after year of the rollout of, sites have been identified. I'm actually attending a ribbon cutting for a new site tomorrow. So it's definitely happening. And especially in our areas there's more growth and development, you'll see some newer campuses emerging there.
Well, I think that's all of our questions today. So thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful having you.
It was a pleasure talking with you. Thank you.